Pearl Jam is often seen as one of the great success stories of the grunge era, a band that survived the chaotic rise of the 1990s Seattle music scene, outlasted many of their peers, and stayed true to their principles. With their debut album, 10 becoming an instant classic and Eddie Vedder's unmistakable voice defining a generation, Pearl Jam carved out a place in rock history. But behind their longevity and activism lies a darker, more complex story, one filled with emotional wounds, loss, artistic frustration, and a deep discomfort with the fame that came so suddenly and so overwhelmingly. What many fans don't realize is that Pearl Jam's journey has been haunted by the same ghosts that consumed so many of their contemporaries, and their survival came at a steep personal cost. In the early 90s, Pearl Jam found themselves thrust into the spotlight almost overnight. The commercial success of 10 was staggering, and the band was immediately labeled as one of grunge's biggest voices, alongside Nirvana, Soundgarden, and Alice in Chains. But this fame was something the band never truly embraced. Eddie Vedder, in particular, felt suffocated by the sudden adoration and mainstream attention. Unlike many rock frontmen, Vedder never craved celebrity. In fact, he resented it. He became increasingly reclusive, visibly uncomfortable with interviews and press, often sabotaging promotional efforts in an attempt to escape the rock star persona that had been forced upon him. The band also struggled with internal dynamics and industry exploitation. Pearl Jam's infamous battle with Ticketmaster in the mid-90s was not just about corporate greed, it was about control and integrity. The fight drained them emotionally and financially, and while it won them respect from some corners, it also alienated them from venues, promoters, and even some fans. At the time, their refusal to play the industry game nearly dismantled their touring infrastructure and pushed the band close to collapse. Tragedy has also cast a long shadow over Pearl Jam's history. In 2000, during a performance at the Roskilde Festival in Denmark, 9 fans were crushed to death in a crowd surge. The incident deeply scarred the band, especially Vedder, who openly wept on stage in the weeks that followed. They considered breaking up, haunted by the belief that their music meant to connect and inspire had unintentionally caused harm. The emotional trauma of that night lingers in their lyrics and their live performances, which became more subdued and reflective in the years afterward. Beyond the headlines, Pearl Jam has also quietly battled personal demons. Several band members have struggled with substance abuse, depression, and the pressures of being part of a band that never took a break. Their resistance to commercialism came at the cost of mainstream exposure, leading to a period of isolation in the late 90s and early 2000s when they were still making powerful music but receiving little recognition. They were no longer the darlings of the media, they had become outsiders by choice, bruised by fame and disillusioned by the machine. In the end, Pearl Jam's story isn't just one of survival, it's one of endurance through darkness. Their music speaks to pain, confusion, hope, and rebellion because that's what they've lived. Beneath the surface of their long career lies a truth that's far more difficult and raw than most fans ever see. Pearl Jam didn't just outlive the grunge era, they carry its ghosts with them still.